everything's going really good with the babies. They are now out of the incubator, out of their eggs and in the hatchling rack. So let's go and have a look at them now. So this is the hatchling rack. So the top row and these two are obviously royal pythons, and then the babies are in these. Only 5 have survived. One of the babies died. It was one of the little weak ones. To be honest, I was expecting it, but you know, it's one of those things. So let's have a little look in here. Here's the first little one. Very cute. It's done a wee, so that's good. I'll clean that out in the morning. But they're all quite alert. Like to have a little nip if you put your hand in there for too long or wave around. So they're doing really good. This one has got a bit of a swelling on its tummy where it's absorbed the yolk. Just you can see it looks quite fluidy on this side over here. Gonna watch and wait, see what happens there. It's gone down a bit actually. But yeah, apparently that happens sometimes. So that's fine. Then we've got this little darling. Again, this one had some swelling on its tummy. This one's gone down a lot actually. This one's looking way better now. They're quite dark, quite shiny. Obviously they've still got their baby skins on, so they will shed hopefully in the next very soon, and we can try and feed them. I'm pretty sure that they are going to want to eat, especially this one, because this one does like to bite. But they're not nasty. He just thinks I want to eat him. Once they learn that that you don't want to eat them and you're not a predator, then they'll calm down. That one's hoping that we haven't seen him. They're absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So this last one that I'm about to show is the other small one. This one actually, I realised why it was so small, because it had the umbilical cord was wrapped around its body, and literally to the point it was that tight there was actually a divot around its body for a day and a half even after I took it out and cut the umbilical cord off of it. So obviously it didn't absorb any of the yolk, this one. It is looking okay. It was looking ropey. I have kind of assist fed it 2 pinkies. I know that people don't generally feed them until after they've had their shed, but it was looking pretty dire, and it has perked up a lot since it's had those 2 pinkies, so it was definitely the right thing to do. Some people probably agree, some people disagree. It is what it is. It's what I've done. So, you know, there's not a right or a wrong way of doing this, I don't think. Not everyone waits actually until after they've shed. Some people just, you know, offer straight away. So, you know, it's personal choice. I haven't fed the rest. Obviously, I'm going to wait for them to shed. But this one I did because, as I said, it was quite, it was looking quite weak and ropey. But you can see now, perfectly alert. It's a lovely little snake. And if this one does well, I think probably I'll keep it, because it is, I just really like it. I like all of them, but it's just, yeah. It went to that sort of limp stage, and I thought, see, it's still got a little bit of the umbilical cord there. I think once they've shed and I dry them out a little bit, obviously they're very, very damp at the moment, because they need to be. Once they've shed and they can have some normal substrate, then I'll expect those umbilical cords to dry up. They've not really had a chance to dry up yet. But yeah, you can see he's looking absolutely fine now. I say I haven't sexed any of them. I won't be doing that until they're a little bit more robust. But he's lovely, really lovely little snake. Yeah, so that's kind of how they're getting on. So while we're here, we'll obviously just have a little catch up on these guys. So this is, I'm going to be careful because this one's a pretty good eater actually. So this is a male Enchi Desert Ghost. He's an absolute star. Would literally eat every day, so I'm going to watch my fingers in there. That's him. This is Little Puma, female. So that's Yellow Belly Spark. She's lovely. She hasn't eaten yet, so I'm not going to mess her around too much. But as you can see, she's been well fed before she got here, so I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. This is the very grumpy but very beautiful Cinnamon Mojave. And she is triple het. So she's triple het for Ghost, Desert Ghost and a Mure. She's lovely. A little bit grumpy. She likes to hiss. She's a bit of a monkey. This is the lovely girl. She's just shed. She's absolutely lovely. So she's obviously normal. Double het, Ghost and Stripe. So I need to get a boy. For her. She's a stunner. What else have we got? Oh, I'll save him for last. He's my favourite. So this little darling is Super Pastel Bamboo Pinstripe. And he's lovely. Really lovely snake. He also doesn't want to eat at the moment, but again, not going to lose any sleep. Now, this one is a monster feeder, so I'm going to have to be careful with him. So this is, oh, I'm glad it's just changed because it's showing as yellows. This is a pewter male, triple het, Ghost, Desert Ghost and a Mure. What I love about this guy, and I know I've said it before and I'll keep saying it, is how he's got the freckles, the speckling up his back, and it goes right up to his head in the lighter lines on his head. Let's get that to focus a bit there. There we go. And it comes down onto his top eye stripes. You see he's got little speckles on there as well. Absolutely love that. So he's lovely. So pewter male, triple het, love him. So I thought I'd show one of my other females actually. She doesn't get very much airtime at all. I'm going to be careful because it's evening time and she thinks it's food time. So this is Daisy. And she's super fire. Black-eyed leucistic. Absolutely gorgeous. Looks absolutely ace against the dark substrate and the hides and stuff. She's so nice. Not for petting right now though. Who else have we got? Oh, Reg. Reg is looking for food also. So there's Reg. He's a lovely boy. Although also very food orientated, so we're not going to play with him. And who forgot down here? So she is a citrus pastel yellow belly stroke spectre. So she's very lovely. And yes, she does look almost xanthic in real life as she does on the film. Obviously she's not, she's just very pretty. So that's her. Also wanting to be fed. So this is the girl that when I got her, she didn't eat for ages and ages. I'm gonna be she's gonna strike at me. Just move my hand back out of the way. Yeah, so she didn't eat for ages and she literally now would eat every day. So you can see she's in pretty good nick and she's growing loads. So that's really cool. Sorry. Yeah, she's doing really good. So a little update on Scar. She is, let's have a look. She looks like she's nesting, look. So she's kicking up all of the substrate, and she's just staying hidden all the time. I found her soaking in her water bowl yesterday, so I'm wondering whether she might be going into shed. She's still, I had a quick palpate of her, and she's still got kind of big follicle-y type feeling things, so I don't quite know what's going on with her. They don't feel any bigger actually than when I felt her a while ago, so I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna put a male in again. We'll just see what happens. To be honest, I wouldn't have chosen to breed her. I'm looking at her actually, and she looks like she's about to shed. She's got those white outlines to her scales, sort of even on her head and her neck where it's smaller. So I think, don't know, because I think I would have missed her blue phase, but she looks like she's going to shed actually. So I guess we'll just wait and see. So there you go. Baby's looking great. Absolutely not worried about them really at the moment. They're doing really well. I just really want them to shed so that I can start feeding them. There's a couple of them that I can tell already are going to feed no problem, because they will bite anything that you will wiggle in there, which is great. They usually feed really well. You know, the one that I had to assist feed, I absolutely don't advocate assist feeding, but it was dire. It was listless, it was limp, you know, whereas the others are quite round and full looking. That one was literally concave on the underside. It had nothing, there was nothing inside of it. As you can see now, it's perked up, it's, you know, it's done it the world of good. So, you know, I'm going to wait now, see if it sheds, and then hopefully it will eat. So that would be really cool. I got some comments about the scissors. So when I did the egg cutting, these were actually the scissors that I used. They are Lister scissors, and as you'll be able to see, they're quite flat on the underside and completely blunt. They are the scissors that we would use against people's skin to cut off bandages. So again, they're called Lister bandage scissors, and I did make a conscious effort to point this side up towards the top of the egg so that there was no risk of me poking anything. People do recommend other things, you know, blades, smaller scissors, nail scissors, whatever. This is what I chose, this is what I used. It worked really well. You know, people will use what they personally feel comfortable with. I personally don't feel comfortable with putting blades inside of eggs. If you catch anything with a blade, you are going to cut it. If you catch anything with that, you're not going to cut it. And actually it pushed the membranes out of the way. It didn't hurt anything inside of the eggs. As you can see, the ones that have died were dead already, bar one. And that one I could tell was small and wasn't going to do great. I could tell that. You know, I did say right from the beginning, there's 4 that look really good, 2 not sure about, they're alive, but you know, didn't look great. I was expecting at least one of them to die. It wasn't anything to do with the scissors. It was just one of those things. They don't all make it. There are, of course, loads of different ways to do it. Everybody has their own way. You know, I'm fairly intelligent. I weighed up the pros and cons, and this is what I came up with. And just from a safety point of view, they're what I chose. So Lister bandage scissors. I'm not saying go out and buy some and use them. I'm just saying that's what I use. And actually the one thing that I didn't put into the cutting video that I should have was that actually the whole cutting footage bit with music was sped up to double time. So if at times it did look rash and rushed and, you know, a bit jaunty, actually it's because it was sped up double. So, you know, I didn't rush my way through it as it may have come across in the video. I shortened it down so that it wasn't going to be, you know, a 20-minute video. So just wanted to clear that one up too. I'm going to leave it there. Like the video if you like it, subscribe, and hit the little bell if you want to see their journey. Get notified of videos when I release them, you know, when I try and feed them, etc, etc. Share the video, leave a comment, you know, good or bad, I don't mind. I'm open to criticism as long as it's constructive. I don't want opinions, but anything evidence-based, have at it. I love it. I like to learn all the time. Yeah, and I'll I'll see you again.